pleasant day to each and everyone. Well, my name is Mark Dari Lagarde, the class president of Films 1, and I am with my other classmate to discuss the assigned task to our section, which is Confucianism. And I assume that some of you already knew what is Confucianism, and for you to understand it well, let me show you first what the word Confucianism is. Confucianism is one of the most influential religious philosophies in the history of China. It has existed for over 2,500 years. Confucianism is also variously described as a religion, philosophy, tradition, a humanistic and a simple way of life. To put it simply, Confucianism is concerned with practical questions of morality and ethics.
Let us know the history of Confucianism. So, Confucianism was developed in China in 551 to 479 BC. It was discovered by Confucius, known to the Chinese as Kongzi, which means Master Kong. Confucius gave the name Confucianism by Jesuit missionaries who were visiting there. However, the fundamental principles of Confucianism began before his birth during the Zhou dynasty.
Here are the beliefs of Confucianism. Confucianism believes in ancestor worship and human-centered virtues for living a peaceful life. Some people believe that Confucianism is a religion, but based on our research, it can be a religion and a philosophy. That's why there's still debate over if Confucianism is a religion.
Virtues of Confucianism. The first virtue is Ren, which means humaneness or benevolence. Next virtue is Yi, which means righteousness and honesty. The third one is Li, which means proper behavior and propriety.
Next virtue is Zi, which means knowledge or wisdom. Then the last virtue is Sin, which means sincerity and fidelity. These virtues will dictate how the person should live and behave.
Symbols of Confucianism. They are four main symbols that represent the beliefs and views of Confucianism. First, in Confucius, that represent the man who began the religion. Next, the Chinese character for water, which is the one of five elements of Chinese philosophy. Then the Chinese character for scholar, which is made for the importance of knowledge and self-awareness. And last, the yin-yang symbol is common in other forms of Chinese religion, and what different meaning is that the circles represent a whole while the halves and dots depict opposite interaction or balance.
Here are some interesting facts about Confucianism. Confucianism focuses on morality, social harmony is its ultimate goal. Confucianism has sacred texts including the Lunyu, its most sacred scripture. The most Confucian canon consists of the 5 classic and the 4 books.
Confucius got married at the age of 19. Confucius worked as a stable manager and bookkeeper before he married. The 6 arts that Confucius was schooled in were archery, music, arithmetic, calligraphy, charioteering, and ritual.
Purpose of Confucianism.
To create a peaceful society through bettering the attitudes and behaviors of individual followers.
It is built on an ancient religious foundation to establish the social values, institutions, and transcendent ideas of traditional Chinese society.
Confucianism gives the importance of a virtuous life, filial piety, and ancestor worship.
To achieve harmony, the most important social value.
There are 5 relationships in Confucianism. This relationship will tell you how to live a good life. Parent, child, ruler, subject, husband, wife, older brother, younger brother, friend.
The superiors are placed at the left side while the inferiors are placed at the right side. The superiors are the good role models to the inferiors, and inferiors are the one who will give respect and the one who will follow their superior.
Ritual of Confucianism. The religion of Confucianism is easily recognizable by its emphasis on sacrifice and worship. Li, Confucian, a ritual religion of China that consists ceremonies and sacrifices and held according to Confucian modalities and dedicated to those gods. These rituals are important in Confucianism because it emphasizes both moral cultivation and ultimate concerns.
The religious dimension of Confucianism can be easily perceived by its emphasis on sacrifice and worship. Three kinds of sacrifice have been observed by Confucian tradition.
First is sacrifices to heaven, second, sacrifices to ancestor, and third, sacrifices to the sages.
Pros and cons of Confucianism. The pros are social stability and order, owing to respect for the authorities who are generally the elders, as well as an emphasis on education that enable one to succeed in any environment, by hook or by crook. The emphasis on wisdom is also good.
It embraced the idea that kings could lose power if they behave incorrectly.
Filial piety says that you should respect your parents and your elders because they're not only raising you but they have valuable wisdom and experience and you can learn from them and appreciate the world around you.
The cons are that it assumes that human nature is born well, which I believe is not true. This places trust in human nature and morality, which gives false assurance as to humanity's moral standards, as well as encourages a pragmatic form of morality, which is not true morality at all.
Confucianism is due to the length of time it is based, drives a hierarchy, and the hierarchies have a potential to be unfair.
Maybe some of you wondering what are the values that can be found in Confucianism. So, let us now discuss those values.
All human relationships involve a set of defined roles and mutual obligations. Each participant should understand and conform to his or her proper role. The affirmation of accepted values and norms of behavior in primary social institutions and basic human relationship is guided by Confucianism.
This Confucian transcendence to take the actions of everyday life seriously as the arena of moral and spiritual fulfillment. The concept of respect, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice and moral values had been expressly identified in Confucius ethics.
Three core Confucian principles are filial piety, humaneness, and ritual. These values permeate Chinese culture and everyday life that also influence the culture of neighboring peoples.
Is Confucianism still popular in China?
Confucianism is not a religion that you have to pray or applaud, you have to wave all the time. It's kind of a culture and ideology. It directs Chinese in the way we think, we live, and we exist. Actually, if you ask what is Confucianism, maybe 10 people have different answers, but it defines the Chinese identity which makes us different from other cultures or races. It has nothing to do with being popular or not. It's just like blood or nutrition, part of our body.
We are now at the end of our discussion. Before we end this presentation, let me give you a wonderful and a very inspiring quote of Confucius that will surely help you. Do not do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you. So, thank you for listening and giving all your attention to our presentation, and we are hoping that you learned something from us. Thank you and goodbye.